Alrighty, to start things off, sorry for the month-long break there, lads and ladies. Had to get my head straight after a recent breakup and other life events, but I'm trying to get back in the groove of things, and I figure I'd tried something small that deviated from something much larger to get the content rolling again. And what better way than through the MCU in its highly filtered content? We already singed the crap out of the episode, why not double dip and discuss if it happened in our reality and how screwed each and every one of us would be. And brother, believe me, we are screwed on this one. Today, we're not going over the extensive comic catalog of Marvel Zombies, as that will be a much more grander undertaking that my low energy having ass can't handle right now. So if you really want that in the distant future, I give you permission to spam the comments till it happens. Also be warned, once again, I have a very restrictive amount of knowledge on the Marvel franchise, but hey, maybe it's just zombies with superpowers or something. Either way, I'm digressing, and we need to get to the format of these videos read and going. Today, we are discussing the zombies
with weapons.
Alternate realities and multiple dimensions are great for marketing and getting yourself out of a narrative hole. A snappy way to die. The statement of how are zombies alive is now what if zombies are alive. Zombies that crave brains, using their brains to detect your brains to lift you with their brains to eat your brains. Long sleeve shirts are apparently better than high-tech armor. And no amount of quips, one-liners, and puns are gonna save you from being eaten alive like an all-you-can-eat buffet. I just contradicted myself. Today, we are telling you why you wouldn't survive What If Zombies Quantum Virus Outbreak.
What if?
In 1987, a Soviet intercontinental ballistic missile had been launched to strike American soil, only to be intercepted by the brilliant minds of Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, who had harnessed technology and particles that allowed them to use suits that could shrink and enlarge their body sizes to extreme degrees, down even to the subatomic level. Mounting the missile, Janet Van Dyne had breached her suit safety protocols to disable the missile from within, only to cause it and her to vanish into another reality known as the quantum realm. The quantum realm being a dimension devoid of time and space, causing anyone that accidentally may enter it via magical/mystical methods and subatomic scientific methods will be trapped indefinitely without extremely proper measures. Considering the amount of energy, alternate realities, the total void of darkness, and the trippy mirror like I'm on an acid trip kind of reality associated within it. Hank Pym, using the Pym particles with the aid of Hope Van Dyne and Scott Lang, were able to rescue Janet from the quantum realm. In the original and technically alternate timelines of the original MCU, the quantum realm's timeless qualities allowed the remaining Avengers to jump to alternate timelines to undo the damage brought by Thanos by getting the Infinity Stones. However, in our what if scenario today, Janet Van Dyne's time in the quantum realm, or lack of time? Look, she was gone 30 years in reality, but their time is irrelevant, so whatever. But her presence in the quantum realm had exposed her to what would be appropriately titled the quantum virus. Wandering in a dimension without resources endlessly, as well as a breach in her suit, could have caused an encephalopathic virus that overloaded her brain's limbic system, causing Janet's body to rapidly decay, for all major organ functions to cease, excluding her brain, and for her sole thought process and purpose to attack the living, devour their flesh, and spread this metaphysically born disease. Much like any zombie outbreak I have discussed on this channel numerous times, the bodies of the reanimated are in fact dead to all known medical science and do suffer from necrosis to a certain degree, but they do not fully rot to the point where they are immobilized or become a putrid pile of dark goo eventually. No, they're here to stay. They retain all their muscle matter and strength to overpower others, and with the limbic system overloaded, there is no signal for the body to not overexert itself, allowing them to tap into even further reservoirs of strength. Their teeth do not rot or fall out, allowing them to easily bite and rip through flesh. And most importantly, what separates the quantum virus zombie extensively from any generic or even variant of the modern zombie archetype is the fact that anyone that turns can preserve the dexterity to use equipment, armor, and innate abilities they possessed when alive. meaning those proficient with weapons and hand-to-hand combat like Hawkeye, Black Widow, Captain America, they can use their bows, guns, and freedom frisbees to incapacitate survivors from afar to allow them or other zombies to quickly sink their teeth in. Others, like Iron Man and Falcon, are fully capable of using their armor to the best of its capabilities, flying through the air with no issue, and their suits, ammunition, and reserves as if they had never died at all, and retain their ability to really get around easily, which an already armored zombie will be nearly impossible to cause any considerable damage to. And most dangerously of all, and how I'm going to tie this into our reality for today's scenario, realistically speaking, I think, those that are proficient in the mystic arts and sorcery will not be hindered by their untimely demise. Doctor Strange, Master Wong, Ebony Maw, and Scarlet Witch all easily saw to using their magic to either create portals to ambush survivors, to psychokinetically drag people up and into the air to immobilize them, stop bullets in midair and fling them back at aggressors, and, although not shown in the episode to make my editor's life a little bit easier, that way he's not looking for these particular parts, hope you appreciate that, wise fish, the conjuring of energy blasts to stun people, and numerous types of spells to bind the living in either metallic-like bands, blow them away with gusts of wind, and even bestow wards onto weapons to make them so hot to the touch that they are unusable to those that seek to defend themselves with weapons. With the undead versions of Doctor Strange and Ebony Maw comes their abilities to transport wherever they may wish. Strange and Wong making portals to intrude in any fortified compound, and Ebony Maw possibly manipulating the very PIM particles used to reach the quantum realm to stretch their undead influence across space and time, and eventually to our own reality. So what would that mean for our survivability if suddenly an endgame level of portals started appearing all around highly populated areas around our world? Now, usually I can say that a zombie apocalypse in its first weeks could easily be quelled due to the dumb and slow-moving nature of a zombie type. And while that variant of zombie is common with those afflicted with the quantum virus, those emerging from those initial portals aren't going to be the usual riffraff of undead. But on that note, the common zombies, they are going to know how to use basic weaponry like bats, firearms, and a lot of other stuff. If you knew how to use something practical when you were alive, you can probably pick it up as a zombie and use it. So we do have armed zombies, but we do have super individuals like Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man that could withstand any armed response, as they allowed armies of the undead to push forward to increase their numbers, since any bite or scratch that involves their saliva and or bodily fluid can transmit the virus. It is basically just the normal old zombie transmission thing. Now, these specific zombies of the quantum virus are shown to have a capacity to coordinate with each other and strike the living, each uniquely using their powers to destabilize and infect even the most powerful and resilient of foes. Considering the tactical and telekinetic sorcerer Ebony Maw was surprise attacked by the zombie version of Iron Man, who was able to blast him in the back of the head with the aid of Doctor Strange's interdimensional portals. They were able to coordinate this and catch somebody that is really tactical and psychokinetically powerful completely off guard. Zombie Hawkeye was also able to stick to the shadows and pin survivors with his arrows so that other infected can swoop in on them. Even the basic bitch that is Happy Hogan was able to use the blaster wrist after he had died, and he had barely even known how to use it beforehand. Then we do have Iron Man flying through the sky and blasting down survivors so commons can bite them, the Wasp changing her size to either crush opposition or invade any impregnable suits of armor that a survivor might have on, and even imagine this, a zombie Hulk would be an unstoppable force, basically being Left 4 Dead's tank, but with invincibility turned on. They may have rotting, corrupted gray matter, but their calculated mannerisms could easily pick apart large populations and well-armed forces, especially since zombie versions of Ant-Man, Hank Pym, and the Van Dynes could shrink down to small enough levels to where they could easily infect any person on the planet, especially in conjunction with multi-dimensional portals provided by Strange and Wong. You will have these almost unseen to the eye individuals going through portals no matter where you are being able to bite you. And this does explain what happened in the what if scenario, because the entire world had succumbed to the virus within only 2 weeks, which, unlike many other zombie apocalypse scenarios, this one really does make sense to how it spread so fast in that short amount of time. And within that infected count included the advanced civilization of Wakanda, with a society as technologically advanced and warrior-oriented as Wakanda, having its population conform to the undead hierarchy is very frightening. Having a zombie army, as skilled as they are in combat, equipped with vibranium armor and weapons, would mean an impossible challenge to face for even the toughest militarized efforts across the world. Zombies appearing anywhere at any given time, being this skilled, would make any armed safe havens null and void, no matter how walled off, isolated, and defended these outposts are. The worldwide quantum zombie army will bring down any outposts that were standing any kind of a chance against waves of normal infected. And to those that think they can just hide deep underground in an underground bunker like a fallout shelter and try to wait this out, maybe they'll all just rot away, well, zombies like Ebony Maw could also use their telepathy to detect living people and hunt them down wherever they may go. Once you've been detected, that portal is opening and you are screwed. I mean, you could be held up in Fort Knox, the Pentagon, or even Putin's private love bunker, surrounded by armed security 24/7 with the most advanced weaponry known to man. But those orange portals could easily breach security and have your armed forces wiped out or infected as they try to fire back, only killing maybe a few basic zombies before they are all switching sides. No matter what you do, they will find you and they will kill you. Wait, that's not the right franchise. These zombies can be killed if their brain is destroyed. Textbook zombie stuff, I know, so aiming for the head on common zombies will be your best bets for survival, and while infected versions of Iron Man and Doctor Strange were easily dispatched by the likes of the Wasp and her insect hordes, I would say this occurred only because of time constraints for a singular episode. They gotta cram a lot of stuff into a 30-minute period, and also due to poor writing. Iron Man would still be adaptable to any combat scenario. He was an extremely intelligent person in life, and he would swiftly go for any easy target as a zombie. A zombie Iron Man would not be able to be taken down so easily. The only real way of deterring zombie hordes from swarming wherever you may try and hold yourself up is, well, I mean, you could try to wipe him out, but you're gonna die way beforehand, is to either side with Vision if you can find him, if he hasn't already killed himself, or finding and using the Mind Stone. Since the Mind Stone emits a frequency that zombies will not approach to any degree due to their overloaded limbic system. Consider it sensory overload for their brains, since their gray matter is already being overclocked just to stay alive. So stepping inside the radius may make their brains pop like something out of Mars Attacks, so they will just stay outside of its emitted radius. On another note though, the Mind Stone can also be utilized to cure those that have turned undead, even if they have been decapitated. But the full capabilities of this cure and conversion are unknown, as Vision himself had discovered the Mind Stone could not cure zombies that already held immense magical power, like Scarlet Witch. So there is a cure, but you're gonna have to go through a hell of a time trying to get the Mind Stone, and good luck trying to get that. Before living organizations, armies, and special forces tried to discover this fact about the Mind Stone, we would throw everything already at the most powerful and densely populated centers of these zombie armies. When it comes to wiping out anything, you know us, we can always resort to napalm striking, dropping bombs with B-52s, dirty gas, or even the good old nuclear option and drop a nuke or two. However, even then, that could prove to be futile, as the point of this origin for the virus was Janet shrinking down to the molecular level and disabling an ICBM. If infected like her and Hank are nearby were to catch wind of this, they could fly up to our most destructive weapons and see to disabling them or transporting them to the quantum realm purely on accident, or on purpose if they get that savvy. Doctor Strange and other people that know how to use portals could also just transport him and a horde of zombies out of harm's way before detonation, while Ebony Maw and Scarlet Witch could easily repel these explosives and incendiary devices and thrust them in a completely different direction or back at those that shot it. Once the time has come and these portals have opened on our side, these heroes turned cannibalistic villains would protrude from their portals and be gods of destruction that we can do nothing against with everything we have at our disposal as a species. The planet Earth of their original universe only lasted 2 weeks, and that is with all those superhuman individuals defending it. So what chance do we have with what we have now, considering the only real way of fighting back against them as a worldwide force is not nukes or explosives or weapons, it's to find and acquire and use the Mind Stone. And brother, let me tell you, you are not finding that rock.
They're minerals. Jesus, Marie.
Even though we're 100% screwed, things get even worse from there. To end things off, total domination of this original universe most likely occurred via the quantum zombies, as we see at the very end. The mad Titan Thanos himself had also been infected while armed with 5 out of 6 of the Infinity Stones, while preparing to acquire the Mind Stone to complete his collection, as Spider-Man, Ant-Man, and Black Panther approach the overrun Wakanda with the Mind Stone. Hard to believe the guy with the 5 Infinity Stones got infected in the first place, but those 3 landing there with the zombie army of Wakandans and a zombie Thanos using a nearly complete Infinity Gauntlet would definitely mean their deaths and the completion of the Infinity Gauntlet in that universe. With that happening, zombie Thanos, fully knowledgeable of what the gauntlet can do, will use it to do the famed Thanos snap. But instead of wiping out half or even 100% of the populated universe and disintegrating it into dust, zombie Thanos instead could use this to detect all intelligent life in the cosmos and convert them instantly into the undead. No bites, no scratches, no fighting back, no anything. Your consciousness will slip away and you will just be a brainless, mindless, flesh-craving zombie. Just being alive will mean you're dead already. And with the entire universe becoming quantum zombies, the dead versions of Ebony Maw, Doctor Strange, and any person equal to their power could help to easily utilize the PIM particles with Thanos and his Infinity Gauntlet to break into our reality and any other reality to expand their multiversal infection, and from that moment of their arrival onto our world. With just the mere snap of his dead fingers, of this menacing giant purple zombie, before we could even realize what was going on. Why this rotting, decaying corpse suddenly appeared out of thin air. Our lives, our reality, everything will. Well, let's just say today's Why You Wouldn't Survive is inevitable. Well, that snaps away today's possibly most impossible scenario of survival. Were you disappointed I didn't cover the comics? What did the comics and its intelligent zombies go over that this What If episode didn't? Fully explain it in detail to me in the comments. I always love seeing that. Let me know what you want to see next down below as well. If you liked what you saw, like and subscribe, all that generic stuff. And donate if you feel like it. Here's all these nice people that have supported me during my month-long break. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you so very much. But you don't have to. I really appreciate you just spending the time and watching me ramble about zombies. Thank you so much for watching, and there's going to be more content hitting your sub box in the future. Stay well, stay happy, and stay well. Yep, I've said that twice. Love you.